My name is Michela Magas and I run something called Music Tech Fest. It's a global community of over 7,000 innovators.
And in what way do you work with innovation?
We gather together in what we kind of refer to often as acupuncture points, moments where people from all over the world, all kinds of experts from all kinds of backgrounds, join forces and address some really kind of high-level challenges, but in a very fun and very playful way by putting music at the center, enabling that as a kind of social glue and a means of communication, and then the knowledge exchange becomes really fluid and really quite amazing.
And why is this the area where you choose to put your expertise and competence?
It has kind of evolved organically. I was working with both with clients and with groups of students, and I realized that the most fruitful environments is when people from very different areas of expertise come into a neutral space that's very stimulating, and when they can then address an issue from different perspectives. And I found that the results that I was getting from engaging people in this way had effectively what we now call a multiplier effect. It sounds like a big word, but actually it was really, there were so many different ideas that were coming out. They were so valuable that nothing I could do on my own or with just a small group of people could ever match that.
What do you think about this concept that we're here to talk about, a working lab?
This is definitely where the co-working space should be. Should have a maker space. People should be able to get their hands dirty, as we call it, together, translate their knowledge and their thought into practice, because that's a way that they can break down barriers of jargon, for instance, that comes from academia, or silos as you have them in industry, different industries. So then you can join forces between different areas of knowledge and between different industry sectors. And we found with our community, having worked with them now for over 7 years, that the best ideas are coming at the junction between disciplines.
And what does it take from an arena like this to really create impact? What's needed?
Well, there's obviously, first of all, the space that's neutral, that is very welcoming, where everybody feels at an equal level playing field. And then when people come together, they need to be able to have access to tools such as the makerspace. They need to be able to share sort of toolkits and share knowledge. But also, we have, for instance, developed certain methodologies which really help propel this, kind of give them injections of inspiration, injections of energy, and then basically the whole kind of atmosphere in the space rises.
Yeah, and talking about atmosphere, what is needed more than the physical space? You said you have methodology. Something else?
Well, it's the ability to open people's minds. So whoever enters a space, they always come with a certain set of expectations and certain preconceived ideas and ways of working. If you are able to, through some of the methodologies, for instance, that we use, to open their minds, you just see the impact there and then. So just to quote an example, we ran about 3 or 4 weeks ago, we were residents inside a very big company that's grown from being a startup to a unicorn in basically in the area that Facebook and WhatsApp operate in. And what was really interesting is that on the first day, 44 workers from all over the world got a huge amount of input, inspiration. But on the second day, you could feel when they started to join the dots between what they do and what's possible. You know, you could hear the atmosphere rising and you could hear the energy level and the enthusiasm growing. So when you get to that point, everybody's mind has opened and they have realized that there's this possibility. And then later in their work, they can use it.
For all the people who are interested in innovation, but they couldn't be here today, what would be your main message that you want to send?
Well, we always say something that's very simple, and it's not the first time it's been said, but it's very important for us, is that we do not predict the future, we invent it. So we get our hands dirty and we test drive everything, and what comes out very often surprises us. And this is the only way to find out if we're going the right direction.